Good morning. It's Saturday, the 24th of September 2022, and it seems this weekend is going to be a big one. The papers, the national news, everything is full of it, and they're all telling the same story. So, Mr. Putin has said that he will attack the West with nuclear weapons. What utter bullshit. This is the mainstream media that they come out with things like this. Let's just backtrack just a little bit. Who was it that said just before she became Prime Minister that she would have no problem in pushing the button to release nuclear weapons against Russia? Liz Truss. You can trust her, not. And Biden recently said that he would supply long-range missiles to the Ukraine. And then we had Boris the buffoon, that told Zelensky never to negotiate. What the hell do you expect Putin to say? Oh, that's just fine and dandy. We will stand by and allow you to do all of that without doing anything. What Putin actually said was, if the West should attack us, then we will retaliate in kind. This is not a bluff. Okay? But the mainstream media will have you believe that Vladimir Putin is the crazy one. He isn't. The real crazies in charge are the US administration and their influence over the Western nations. It's poison in its most dangerous form, and the Western leaders are falling for it and consequently using the media to frighten the masses. And of course, the fear will come again and will breed compliance among the flock of sheep the West has become. I shake my head in disbelief. This war is not between Russia and Ukraine. The war is between Russia and NATO. The West started this war, make no mistake about that. Go check out the Minsk Accord 2 that was signed by France and Germany. Go back to 1992, when NATO was talking about breaking Russia up into constituent parts so they would never rise again. Putin, in his speech, is just reminding NATO and the West what they're getting themselves into, and they really need to reassess the situation because it's becoming very dangerous. The ball now is in the West's court. What are they going to do? I don't know, and neither does anybody else, but let's hope the world comes to its senses. Now, we have this weekend, for 5 or 6 days, we have elections going on in the DPR, which is the Donetsk People's Republic. And the world has denounced this election as fixed. Well, it's not. I've seen the pictures, the polling stations. With this election, with its proper ballot papers, not one with electronic machines that are no doubt hackable and most likely were at the time. You know what I'm talking about. This referendum could change everything and could benefit those poor souls who are randomly being shelled by Ukraine. Now, if the Minsk agreement had been honoured, then Ukraine would have just lost Crimea. Now, with this referendum, if it is positive, then they will lose 4 more regions. Well done to those criminals in charge. They are in deep water. But perhaps America should maybe think of deploying the village people. That will resolve the situation. They can blow kisses and wave rainbow ribbons. Good luck with that when they meet the Chechens. And if you don't know who the Chechens are, look them up. Now, talking of elections, there's another one this weekend in Italy. And Ursula von Crazy has said that the wrong result could end up with the same treatment as Hungary got by withholding funds. What? Is the President of the European Union suggesting that we interfere in elections? Quick, call the European Court of Justice. Oh no, sorry, they're all in the same club. Don't you love being in this corrupted world? Now, another election that has just taken place was in Sweden. And it was a surprising result, apparently. And the election's gone from centre-left Social Democrats, led by Magdalena Andersson, who incidentally has just resigned, to centre-right, and maybe Ulf Kristersson as the new Prime Minister. I don't know. And this election result in Sweden was most probably driven by uncontrolled immigration. And people are fed up with the breakdown of society by rapes, murders and gun battles on the streets. I remember when I crossed the Öresund Bridge into Malmö on my way to Finland, and certainly didn't feel safe there, especially with British registration plates. Fortunately, it was daylight and I drove through Sweden with no problems at all. Now, the election in Italy this weekend. Now, should Giorgia Meloni become Prime Minister, hers would be the most right-wing government since the end of the Second World War. And once again, it's reflecting on the feelings of the people all over Europe, especially in Italy. Now, will Sweden still want to join NATO along with Finland? Who knows? But I feel both countries are very pro-EU. Having said that, I'm not sure that so I don't really know what's going to happen on the ground, but I do know that the ruling governments in both countries, Sweden and Finland, have many other problems to resolve. But none of them will be so big if the European collapses, which is quite possibly in the near future. By the way, Finland, here's a question for you. What happened to Finlandisation? Just asking. One more thing, one last thing. There's been an exchange of prisoners of war and some people have already been freed. Many are saying this is a wrong move, but you can be readily assured that the deal was brokered by Turkey and Saudi Arabia. And have no doubt there will be something in it for both of these countries. And only they know what it is. I'll keep this short today. I will leave a description in the descriptions of this video. I will leave a link to a guy called Garland Nixon. He's an American journalist and he's really on the ball and is talking to Scott Ritter. Well worth a look. Thank you for listening on this Saturday morning. Bye-bye.